Previously on Hive, Alexander King stood tall while the citizens held whispered conversations along the muddy streets. The remainder of those in opposition to the collective attempted to disperse, but many of them were killed by the rain of plasma bullets. Chapter 3. The Hero. While Alex waited for the aftermath of their trip to the outskirts, the days crawled. The potential of a small group of Hive, whispers of spies, the fate of Reese, and the recent increase of radioactive activity within the city were all left as dormant questions, while Alex performed his new duties. Rather than his body submerging within the water of the lake, his feet briefly remained on the sand. He no longer changed the bed sheets in the barracks but walked its halls, making sure the operation ran smoothly. When the days drew to an end, his hands did not ache, but his eyes grew tired from remaining watchful. Alex found himself bored while standing on the only guard tower in the area, watching an expansive field being plucked for weeds. The area had been ignored for so long that it was no longer a viable source of food until it had been cleared, a job for citizens who had misbehaved. Alex and Commodore Hazel were sat beneath the flat wooden roof. Her eyes matched the bleak gray of the clouds and were framed by a pair of binoculars. The majority of the citizens pulled weeds with their hands, forced to use what little strength their malnourished bodies could offer. Some had the luxury of curved axes, rakes, and shovels to uproot the tiresome greens. "After all that we did, we're still in the fields," Alex complained. "Wait, what did you guys do?" Hazel prodded. "Nothing." "Can I have a hint?" Alex ignored her. The citizens worked quietly as Alex and Commander Hazel had brief bursts of conversation until a lunch break was provided, delivered to them by runners, citizen children a little younger than Patton. The collective personnel ate a can of fruit and a slab of freshly roasted meat each. The citizens' bounty was a small bowl of oats, manipulating them into producing less output in the afternoon. "Everybody come to the guard tower," Alex screamed. His message was only received by a few who looked to him with disinterest. "Come here now," Alex added with a raised voice, confirming that there was power in visible rage. The citizens dropped their work and sauntered towards Alex. He did not have a proper agenda of what he would say to motivate the tired workers. His only hope was that his inner knowing would lead him towards a victorious speech. Once the people had gathered, Alex spoke. "Thank you. I know that it's been hard working here day in and day out, but there is something that you're working for. Eventually, this city will be close or even equal to what we had in the old world." Alex hoped that his words would inspire. Instead, most frowned, bored of his words. "What I'm saying is these weeds are just a start. The people of the future who you have helped will appreciate it, and if you work hard enough, you can be on the tower watching people work." Alex's final words generated an even greater negative response amongst the crowd. Angered at the group's response, Alex ushered them back to work, but Hazel quickly stepped forward. "You have a quota to fill, and if you don't fill it, you'll learn that there are worse things than picking weeds." The people moved back to their work with haste. Embarrassment took hold of Alex, his face turned red and his throat dry. He internally replayed the speech, rethinking the various ways that he could have inspired the people, becoming fixated on whether he was too harsh or too soft. Alex's gripes were interrupted by the radio ingrained within his helmet. A bell rang 3 times. The harsh tone of an emergency. A rumbling formed in the distance. Alex looked to the skyline to discover 3 black aircraft figures making their way towards him. "President Ye is inbound," a voice informed him through the radio. The reveal relieved Alex, but his relief was immediately followed by a wave of stress. President Ye's presence meant that the life course of the collective personnel would change. The field workers pointed at the helicopters in awe. The vehicles had a bulky exterior used for defense and a black hue to navigate the night undetected. As a means for offense, there was a measly cache of missiles attached to its wings. Alex traveled with Commander Hazel to the city's midpoint where both commanders and officers stood together. They stood in silence, eager to hear the commands from President Ye. The edge of the restricted area had not changed since Alex last saw it. Heavy green smoke continued to dance within the air, preventing human eyes from seeing past the border. For some, Discovering the nature of its existence was enough to pull them towards entry. Those who returned experienced premature death. Alex became pestered with occasional thoughts of curiosity. He knew from old world maps that the opposite side of the city matched what was already occupied. But the Hive's previous ownership of it, as well as its growing presence, gave him the terrifying thought that the Hive's toxic remnants may one day take the rest of Zone 6. Each of you is a hero, fighting against great evils. History will remember you, Ye proposed as he turned, revealing his brown eyes. He appeared to be slightly younger than Ives, with a full smile of white teeth. His pants and jacket were made of black silk. His shirt was white and buttoned, his shoes brown and polished. A way of dress in the old world. The crowd cheered at the notion, caught in the prospect that their lives had great meaning. As they were enthralled in celebration, Alex spotted a small translucent hexagon appear behind Ye. "President Ye, look," a man shouted, revealing that Alex was not the only one who had seen something suspicious. As the president turned, the diversion within the restricted area disappeared. "I know about the restricted area, Private," Ye responded mockingly. Laughs came from the crowd. Alex remained silent. "I saw something behind the... We're here to discuss higher matters." Ye's statement quickly quenched the semblance of a laugher. From the emerald smoke, a body suddenly emerged. The visitor was covered in rubber, preventing their skin from coming into direct contact with the earth. A clear plastic over their eyes enabled them to see. They wore silver boots which gifted the user with movement beyond natural ability. Their clothing was suitable to enter the treacherous hands of radiation. "Your journey was not authorized," Ye stated. The explorer looked upward in confusion. "It was authorized by... No person is allowed in the restricted zone unless given permission by me," Ye claimed. Despite the implication of betrayal, he remained calm. Ye's words brought worry to Alex, for if they were true, it meant that all those who had entered before under the command of Hives had done so illegally. Who here would be willing to perform an execution? Several hands shot up. Alex reluctantly included his own. The deserter suddenly got up and attempted to return to the green smoke. The journey was cut short by accurate shots from collective guns. "I know that you have all heard rumors of the Hive's return. The Hive is spreading, but not for long. The years spent trying to find the Hive's heart have ended in success. We found the central hub. When it's destroyed, the entire Hive falls. It is close. Very close. It was us that drove it back. It will be the collective that will end it." Alex felt elevated by Ye's words, wondering if he was wise enough to be just like him. He had already become commander. Having Ye's position was not too far out of the realm of possibility. None of this would be possible without heroes. Heroes such as Reese Minute. Ye finished. Alex's joy fell away as Reese appeared from the crowd, waving his hands at the people. Reese was part of the faction called the Chained. He chose to leave. They were men without merit. They found the Hive's heart and wanted to keep it a secret. Reese thought differently, that it would be best to share knowledge with the collective. Knowing that we would be able to defeat it, we should all strive to be like Reese. Alex's mouth went dry. His spirit was crushed by the unjust lie. He deserved to be a symbol. He had braved the caves, engaged in a firefight, spared the life of one who did not deserve it, who was now being uplifted, while Alex blended in with the crowd. While a series of claps burst forth from the group, a fire of hatred took hold of Alex's heart. The praise should have been for him. He looked to Hives, who stared at him with an expression of warning. Alex justified that the lie must have purpose if Hives was going along with it. "Reese is one of us now. Along with his commander king, he will lead you to the Hive's heart. You must protect him." Ye looked directly at Alex while he spoke. The acknowledgement made Alex freeze in intimidation. "If the mission fails, your prestigious ranks have earned you a place in the Haven, a safe zone within Peddler's Lake. It's a cave at the end of a ravine. This information is not for your subordinates."